Welcome back to the Call Me Larry podcast, the only podcast that runs a bed and breakfast for spider monkeys. How we doing today, Zach?
I can't decide if I'm sauced out or I need more sauce in my life.
It's all about the sauce. It's all about the sauce.
Dude, we have a habit of ordering food from different locations just to acquire whatever sauce they offer. Because every different place has their own specialty sauce, and then we take those and we mix them, and then we add them with whatever we have in the fridge. And I can't choose if I never want to do it again or if we need more.
I think we're part of the Sauce Confederation.
The Sauce Confederation?
Yeah. And, if I was going to spread the good word of the Sauce Confederation, SC for short, it's not about the singular sauce, but it's about the sauces as a whole, right? And the best way for me to speak to that is, I've been known to go to McDonald's on occasion and buy dollar menu items just to justify or ask for more sauce packets.
Do you think they'd give it to you if you didn't buy anything?
I don't know, but I don't want to push my luck. Like, McDonald's workers, I totally appreciate them, and I feel for anyone that's worked there, especially in the food industry. I don't want to be the guy that's like, yeah, I ordered a Diet Coke. Can I get 10 packets of honey mustard on the side?
Because I have a bunch of Dino Nuggets at home that I don't want to go buy a whole thing at.
Wait,
at the grocery store.
This is crazy. Was not planning on talking about this, but what we just talked about right there had helped remind me. Have you heard about the Szechuan sauce at McDonald's?
Yeah, I know a lot of the Rick and Morty stuff.
Yeah. So to give a little background, I think back when the first Mulan movie came out, McDonald's did a Szechuan sauce limited edition special.
Wasn't that in the 80s or something?
Yeah, it was 80s, 90s, something like that. But a little bit before our time. So they did a Szechuan sauce special at their stores to coincide with the release of Mulan. So that sauce apparently was very popular, and people enjoyed it and died down or whatever, and life moved on. Then in something like mid 2000s, Rick and Morty, I think it was season 2 or 3, they come in, and one of the characters from Rick and Morty, Rick, he actually has a whole episode where the basis of that episode is him going back in time to get the Szechuan sauce because he missed it.
I thought that was a couple years ago. It was 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere in there.
It was a little while ago. It was a decent amount of time.
I just went from 2 to 5 years ago as if that's recent. I went from yesterday to 5 years ago.
I think it was 4 to 5 years ago at least.
Yeah,
it was a while ago.
So 2015, 2016.
And the reason I know that is because I was one of the people that went on the journey to try to acquire Szechuan sauce. And what had happened was McDonald's had actually done a collab with Rick and Morty after Rick and Morty had ousted them for the sauce. When they made that episode of the Szechuan sauce, then McDonald's actually did a collaboration.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, hey guys, we're gonna reintroduce limited edition Szechuan sauce for one day at our McDonald's restaurants for Rick and Morty fans.
That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
Oh, well, you don't even understand the half of it. So I think they grossly underestimated the amount of fan base that Rick and Morty has, and it was riots. It was straight riots, and the reason I know this is I was there. So I went with my friends, and we were a little memey, memeing it up, and we're like, hey, let's go get some Szechuan sauce. It'll be fun on launch day. I pulled up to one McDonald's. Line out the door around the corner, people dressed up as Rick, people dressed up as Morty, holding signs, where's the sauce?
Wait, people dressed up as the characters from the show just to go get something from McDonald's?
It was a whole experience.
What did you have to order just to get sauce, or could you just acquire sauce?
Well, here was the thing. No one got the sauce.
Wait, what?
The restaurants at Max had allocations of 10 to 20 packets.
Dude, what? That's nothing.
I was in a high traffic area. You had hundreds of people that came for these sauces throughout the day, and they had 10 allocated packets. Now, I'm not going to knock the workers at McDonald's, but if I was a worker at McDonald's, well, no, it's not their fault. I'm saying that
by corporate.
Oh, corporate, terrible.
Yeah.
But the people that worked at McDonald's, if I knew there's only 10 packets, I'm taking 5 of those right off the bat. right?
Yeah.
Like I work there. I have a entry level job. I'm taking some packets. That this is like a limited edition thing. It's the same thing as workers at Walmart and stuff that like scalp electronics when they first come out. It's I understand why the public might get frustrated by that, but I also understand the plight of the worker there.
Aren't they worth a ton of money now for whatever reason?
Yeah, so I'm getting there. So needless to say, they grossly underestimated the amount of people that were interested in getting these. And it was more of just like a ha ha ha, we'll do it to support you guys and tell you on social media so you think that we care. But we're just gonna send a few packets in like a envelope to our each of our like stores. And they were just expecting that maybe one or two people would come in and be like, hey, do you guys have like the Rick and Morty thing? Yeah, so it was an absolute riot blowout. The demand extremely outweighed the supply. And I had gone to 5 different McDonald's in a day with my friends. Each one riots out front. And I'm saying like riots, like hundreds of people outside of McDonald's with signs. They're like, where's my sauce?
That's insane.
It was crazy. I have never experienced anything like that. And it's crazy because it's wild because when I think back on that, I was like a part of history in the sense that, dude, have you ever had people riot over Szechuan sauce?
Me? No, but apparently you have.
Have you ever heard of that? Like, no.
Not until you're telling the story right now.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard of that at all. So that was a whole thing, and it was on the news. I was on the news. I wasn't a rioter. I was just like someone that was.
You're just there, yeah.
I was there
in the crowd.
But like the crowds were getting news publicity. There was police. It was insane.
Dude, do you think one of the previous episode of Larryland, we were talking about how we just kind of blindly trust history books and we just go with it, whatever happens, and we believe whatever they said. Do we think that might get written about in the history books and there's just like some ludicrous thing from the 2000s where it's like, and rioters lined up today for Szechuan sauce from McDonald's.
Yeah. No,
they undersold and they did not have enough quantities. Things turned violent when there was not enough Szechuan sauce. And Rick and Morty, they started using the middle finger as a greeting. I did it like a newscaster, but
no. You know what I think of? I think. You know how Google has those days on the days of their like Google calendar?
Oh yeah, like
they change the Google logo and they're like, on this day, this happened 50 years ago.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, I can see in the future, it's just like a bunch of like Rick and Morty shaped objects, and it's just like fire burning behind it. It's like the day we ran out of Szechuan packets.
I could see like Rick and Morty running away from an angry crowd, and they just have all the Szechuan with them, and like they're like,
yes, yeah. So
Morty, get to the ship, Morty.
So I had I tried to get this sauce. I tried to get the sauce and I couldn't. And I was really disappointed because I spent the entire day trying to get the sauce and going to all these riots. We were on news and stuff, and we walked away with none. But it was an interesting experience, that being said. So McDonald's received a huge backlash from the community. And the reason being is, they didn't have they really had virtually no sauce for people. And people wanted the goddamn sauce. So they backtracked, they apologized, and what they ended up doing was re-releasing the Szechuan sauce in higher quantities at a later date. And at that point in time, I had attempted again to get the sauce. I succeeded.
Yeah, how much you get?
I got 5 packets of Szechuan sauce, which is still coveted. Like, that was still a lot.
Do you still have them?
Actually,
hang on, I remember this now.
People still could not get the sauce. It was, they had restocked it, and instead of having 10 packets, they had 50 packets, right? It was not a lot.
I mean, it's still not enough.
So I went to a couple different places. I actually think I went near our school, and I like to the places that were maybe less traveled, and I had asked them. I was like, "Do you guys have any Szechuan sauce?" So I get to this one place, and this guy, he's looking at me. And
did he hook you up?
Yeah, he's the manager, and he's looking at me. He's like, "Oh, you want the Szechuan sauce?" I was like, "Yeah, I called earlier, and you guys said you had it." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, like we're all out." And I was like, I was there on the day that they released, and I was really disappointed with my friends, and I was wondering, do you know anywhere else I might be able to find it? And he's like, hold on 1 second. So he walks away. He comes back, and he pulls 4 Szechuan pockets out of his pocket. And like, dude.
Out of his personal stash?
Yeah. Yeah, no cap. Like legit. Yeah. He told me, he's like, I have a personal store, and I feel for you. Here's 4 packets.
That's wild.
My eyes lit up. That being said, those packets were very warm. And they were also like beat up.
That man stores those in his pants.
Yes. dude, he's just walking around with Szechuan in his pockets at all times. But it was warm, and they were like beat up, the packets. They were like clearly had seen some shit.
Dude, so I've never heard that full story, but I remember when we were in college at one point in time, I think you asked me to go into your desk in our bedroom for like your wallet or something that you need me to read to you, like you just didn't have it on you. And I'm like digging around in your desk and I find all these packets of sauce.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and it means nothing to me at the time. Like I don't understand what's going on, even though I know apparently I had like $500 in my hand, like whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, and I give you what you need and I go, why the fuck do you have this? Like, what is the meaning of this? And I didn't know until right now, like, what was actually going on there, which is so funny.
Dude, I wonder how much those packets are worth. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they were worth $20 to $50 each. But that being said, I have consumed a couple over the years. I think I had a total collection of 6.
How was it?
That I got from 3 different McDonald's, right? I had like one packet because they only allocated you 1, and then that one guy hooked me up with 4.
Yeah.
The sauce is really good, but I still have 4 packets saved, and this is like some wedding, bachelor party, like this is like life events type stuff that you crack those packs, right? So I have them hidden in right now, but it's so funny that entire thing happened, right? That entire exchange, and I've walked away with it like treasure.
I mean, it's just so funny about how like shows can influence the real world like that,
and the importance of sauce.
Oh, dude, sauce! You can't go living without sauce.
Well, it's funny because I buy a lot of this food from these restaurants to get sauce without even wanting the food. That being said, you know who does want the food?
Your girlfriend.
Oh yeah, like I can always find between my girlfriend and one of my friends that
it's either your girlfriend or me. I'm down.
Dude. Actually, Scuba Steve plows food.
Yeah,
the man. So he's like a relatively like small person, right?
Yeah.
But he eats enough like for 3 Jasons.
Yeah,
at least.
Big
It's
Larry
crazy.
Jeff is usually down too.
Oh my gosh! But between Scuba Steve, Big Jeff, and my girlfriend, if I buy that food, someone's gonna eat it.
Dude, see, that's the thing that was like, I think we talked about this on a past episode. I don't know which, but like girlfriends are always hungry. They're always hungry. Like if you go to McDonald's, like even if you're getting Szechuan sauce, whatever, always order the large fry, even though your girl said, I'm not hungry, I don't want anything, whatever, because you know damn well that as soon as you get that food into your car or whatever, they want some of whatever you have, and you have to account for that. But it's just so funny because it's like they don't want food until you have food. You have to plan for this. But the thing is like if you don't plan for the girls to eat, they're not going to do it on their own. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I forget what episode we talked about this, but it's just like all of a sudden, like you don't have food for them and they didn't go to the lengths to make sure that they were going to eat and that they were going to be fed and not hangry. And all of a sudden it's your problem and it's your fault. And so you have to make sure that your girlfriend is getting fed so that you're not stressed out about how hungry they are.
Yep. And just to real quick, go back to the sauce because while you were just explaining that, I looked it up.
Okay.
So the original first run of Szechuan sauces are going for like $100 to $200 a packet now.
No way.
Well, they were originally going for like $1,000 to $5,000 on launch day.
That's wild.
I saw prices of people buying packets for $5,000 for a packet, and since then, people have kind of calmed down because it's just sauce. Right?
It was not recent. It's like 6 years ago.
It was more of like a pop culture thing at the time. But the ones I have, the second run sauces, are going for like $20 to $25 a pop. So I have $100 of sauce just chilling on me.
Do you think it's worth it to sell it, or would you rather just 100% save it?
100% keep it. That doesn't matter to me. I'd rather keep it for the experience and all the memories contained with it.
Yeah, or like literally it's like a bachelor gift and you should be getting him something nice. It's just a gross crinkled packet of McDonald's sauce that's 10 years old.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be, Zach, you're going to be getting married, right? And your wedding present, little do you know, is going to be a packet of sauce.
I might sell it.
At that point, it'll be a packet of sauce and whiskey. And be like, all right, that's it. It's like everyone else is getting you. It's like someone gets you like a chair, someone gets you like a blender. What is it called? The registry, like a wedding registry. And then it's like just from your best bud. It's just like Yep, here's some Szechuan
Or it's
sauce.
like you know what a pickleback is?
Yeah.
It's like a pickleback where you put the juice, you put the sauce
Whiskey
into
and
the shot.
Szechuan sauce?
Yeah.
I'll get you,
Gross.
what is it? What is it? Johnny Walker Blue label and some Szechuan sauce.
I mean, Johnny Walker Blue is pretty good. So
yeah, and then you just, dude, imagine how good it is with Szechuan sauce in it.
Why are girls always so lazy, but always so strong at the same time? For example, like Nicole will always, my girlfriend will always want to just like be a potato and just chill and like lay around and do literally nothing. But and then she can't like carry in groceries. Like she's not strong enough to do certain things. But then all of a sudden I come home and the entire bedroom's moved around. Like this girl picked up furniture, put it on the other side of the room, brought the TV over here. She created a shelf. She hung lights. She did all these different things. It's like, where does that come from?
Girl power, man. It's a special ability. Haven't you seen Wonder Woman? It's like
that's very different. She's literally a superhero.
No, dude, all girls got that power. No, yeah, it's pretty crazy to me because I think what it comes down to is men have a baseline and they don't deviate far from that baseline for the most point. It's like I do this, I don't do this, I do this, I don't do this. I'm sitting on the couch, but I can do this. Like it's very like straightforward where girls can be like I'm not doing anything to like let's go. We're going We're going on a 10-mile hike, and then we're going to Chipotle, and then we're gonna go on a Ferris wheel. Like it's very like like
men are more like I have the capability, I don't have the capability, and women are like I want to, I don't want to.
And if they want to or they don't want to, whatever they want, that is the way it's going.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
It's like we could both be extremely hungover, but if Carly wants to do something, we're doing it. And if she doesn't want to do something, we're not doing it.
Where's the line that you draw there, though? I feel like if I was super hungover and someone was like, all right, we're going for a 10-mile hike, I'm like, nope, would rather die, not leaving, not getting out of bed. Like, what's the line that you draw?
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's tough.
Because like even getting up for brunch that hungover is brutal.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just not a big brunch guy. Are you a brunch guy?
Dude, I can get drunk at 11 a.m. on a fucking Sunday, but it's justified. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I'm a brunch guy.
I don't know. Like, for me, I gotta either eat or drink. I'm very binary. Right, it's like we're either drinking now or we're eating now.
Ones and zeros here, people. Let's not get too complicated.
There's different modes. There's different stomachs, so I'm like a cow. I got two stomachs. It's like the drinking stomach or the eating stomach.
That's how my girlfriend is too. She has a dinner stomach and a dessert stomach. No matter how full she is, she can always
mine's
fill
with
the
alcohol and like eating. And the problem is that if I eat too much or drink too much, and I'm doing both, I'm not gonna be happy one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I'm either going to be too full and can't drink anything, or I'm going to be too drunk and can't eat anything.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's more about, like, the basicness of brunch is, like, oh, yeah, we get to go out, we get to have mimosas, I can have, like, Eggs Benedict at 2 p.m. Like, I don't know, it's just something about it is just great. And then you get catered to, and then you spend way more money than you probably should, and then you go wander around in the middle of the day.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing, though. It's like you're dropping, like, a hundo at, like, brunch easy. If you're hanging out for 2 hours plus, like there is a hundo being dropped at least per person. That's like
depending on where you go.
I guess depending on where you go, but from my experience, brunches are not cheap either.
I mean, yeah.
Once you start getting mimosas and drinks involved with brunch, before you know,
not if you go to a place with bottomless mimosas.
Yeah, but they usually charge a fee. But yeah, I guess all that being said, brunch can be good, but maybe it's just not my vibe.
I mean, I feel that, but like. I don't know. For example, Nicole loves brunch. Like, so it makes it easy to want to go out. But something else that she also is curious about is why we use the words that we do for the language that we have.
Like, why do we call it brunch?
Yeah, for example, like,
I mean, breakfast, lunch.
That's one example.
But what is, actually, here's the thing. Breakfast makes sense, right? Because you're breaking fast. You're breaking your fast.
Yeah.
But what is lunch? Where did that come from?
What the fuck's dinner?
Munch. And like, I'm a munch for lunch. Like, I want a munch, so I'm gonna call it lunch. Like, and what is dinner? Like, I'm a winner. I don't know. Like, I made it through the day. We're talking like medieval times. Yeah, like, I survived the day. I get dinner. I'm a winner.
Well, dude, it's like, I mean, I think that's just how English works. Where it's like, have you seen the meme about pineapple in every other language? I forget what it is in every other language. It's very similar in all the Romance languages, like Greek, like whatever. It's pronounced super similar. And it's like they brought it up to the guy who made the English language, and they go, "Sir, we found this. what should we call it? And he goes, pineapple. And they're, well, it's called this in just about every other language. No, apple.
You're saying every other language calls it something else. And
I don't know what it is, but
pineapple.
it's very similar. Yeah, but this guy was just like, nope, we're gonna call it that. And so then English takes words, makes them what we want. I mean, I guess it's like what language is. But what's funny about it is the fact that it's just sounds that we're making, and you understand what I'm saying. Like you have click languages or you have like lizard languages, something like that. And then you understand what that person is saying, because you just speak the language.
Well, what I also think is funny is when you hear another language. Say, I've been known every now and then to watch a Spanish soap opera, or I do watch a lot of anime in other languages, especially Japanese.
You love to watch shows that have subtitles, and I can't do that because I end up reading the subtitles while I'm trying to listen to the show.
It's a acquired like skill. You got to get used to it, right? Yeah. But the funniest thing is when they're in completely another language, and then it's just like, speaking this other language, restaurants, and then just going back to speaking another language, or in your case, it's like pineapple.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, wait, what's going on here?
It randomly gets thrown in. You're so confused. Dude, but the funny part about that is, so we're talking about how, language is weird because there's sounds and, sounds that you're connecting and like kind of threading together. But imagine if you went to some foreign land, like you went to Africa, right? And you know how there are those jokes about how you go to Africa and you show the people there, who are indigenous and have never heard of the Beatles or something, and you show them a picture of, like Maroon 5, and you're like, oh, this was one of the greatest bands of all time, or something like that, like Justin Bieber, and it's like, this is the greatest hockey player ever, or something like that.
Just indigenous peoples that aren't kept up to date with like the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, for example, and I have to give Nicole the credit here because she's the one who kind of came up with this joke, which is so funny to me. It was that, what if you told people that objects, like you gave them a different language or gave them a different word for an object. So, for example, we call a laptop. It's a computer that goes in your laptop. But what if you're like, yes, and you hold up a laptop and you go, this is called titties. This is titties. And then they call that. And so then they go into, that you go into modern society and you go, I will have the titties, please. And they, excuse me? What do you mean you'll have the titties? Oh, wait, the titties. And you're pointing at the laptop, but they just don't get it. So you can legitimately just mess with people. It's like, where did words come from? It's wild.
Well, it's funny you say that. And this, again, just happened to be the case. But Rick and Morty had an episode where Rick creates an entire universe inside a battery to charge his car.
I've seen
it.
It's funny.
It's like, so he creates this whole universe inside a battery to be like, hey, to create it so that that charges power and creates energy to just power his car.
Doesn't the universe inside of the universe create its own universe?
So that's all. So he creates this universe to charge his car. I've created a super battery that has an entire universe of people within it, like galaxies and a whole civilization of people. So he goes into this battery because the battery is dead or whatever, right? And he comes down, whatever he does, he shrinks down or whatever and enters.
He goes into the battery to figure out what the problem is.
And so he comes down, and the first thing he does is he walks out of his spaceship and he puts both his fingers up and he flips everyone off with his fingers, and then they all shout and cheer. Right, because Rick is their god. Yeah. And so what he does is he looks over to Morty and he's like, Morty, I told them that this means hello. So then they're all sticking their middle fingers up. So it's just crowds of hundreds of thousands of these aliens all giving everyone the finger, and they're just screaming, shouting. And he's just walking around, bowing. And I just thought it was so funny, and it goes along the lines of when you have that kind of like disconnect, or there's like a like a new word or a new technology that you bring.
It can mean whatever
that you can tell somebody what if they don't know it, whatever it is, right? And if there's no one there to correct you, that is what it is to them.
Dude, that's hilarious. But it's also like, on the Call Me Larry podcast and really just our lives in general, we use all these random sounds and like random things that we just, for some reason, you and I understand, and I don't think anyone else would get. Like, all of a sudden you just go, yo, the beeps are booping, and I understand that means that someone rang the doorbell and we need to go answer the door, or your phone is ringing, or like the beeps are booping to the beep booped, and then we beep the bop boop beep. Like, I don't know why I get what you're saying, because I really shouldn't, but I do pretty much every time. Like, I can figure it out.
No, that's a crazy kind of realization, and we might be part robot, given how much we beep boops. But No,
if I'm part robot, my head needs to remove itself from my body, like Scuba Steve was talking about, and go work out while I'm watching TV.
Yeah, I think we all need to do that in quarantine a little bit. No, but what you're just saying brings up a crazy revelation, because what is language, right? It's a shared form of communication between two parties, two individuals, two people, a organization, right? A group.
Yeah, dude, it's just sounds that you understand what I'm saying.
Exactly. So we have, in some ways, created our own language where you're saying that I could say the same thing 4 times, but you understand what it means every time. Isn't that kind of scary? Like, that we've just started to create our own kind of verbiage and communication verbally. Yeah. What?
I mean, dude, it's when you're that close to people and you can kind of create your own code words and stuff. Like, I don't know about you, but I did that with friends when I was a kid. It's just certain words and certain things. Friends, yeah. Or for example, in our day and age, like when, I guess when we were younger, and now we have a generation that's a little bit younger than us, but you start to develop your own slang. I remember being younger and saying, "Oh, that's sick, dude," when I was like 16, and my grandmother was like, Are you gonna throw up? Like, are you okay? Yeah. Like, and they're like, I don't get it. Funny. Or for example, we were talking about the phrase "no cap," which you just said, and at first I didn't know what that meant until someone explained it to me. Like, you kind of just come up with these new things, and I think a lot of it comes from pop culture, music, like rappers, like kind of just creating new things and trying to drive linguistics.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just also pop culture in general, right? Like, we're working on this podcast right now, and we're pumping out these episodes, and it's good for the program. That's another one, right?
Dude, as long as the program profits, we're good.
There we go. That's a new one we picked up, right? My friend,
throw that directly on a t-shirt.
Yeah. It's good for the program. CML, good for the program. Yeah, but that's a new one that we picked up, right? My friend, he's a big bettor, right? And he's been giving me a bunch of betting picks on like NHL.
You want to tell him what you just did before we came in here?
Yeah. So as my one friend has been extremely hot on NHL picks, and we've been texting back and forth. We've been winning, and he's like, "It's good for the program." I'm like, "Ooh, I like that," right? And that's what we're saying here, right? Zach, on the other hand, has been unbelievably cold. Like, I'm talking like sub-zero temperatures on his NHL picks, right? He's 0 for like 5 or 0 for 6.
Dude,
right
my
now.
beeps have not booped one time. Not one time.
So he's missed every bet, and I followed a couple. He's followed a couple and just set a couple. But tonight I decided, with how good his losing streak is, that
words have never been said before.
I looked at all the NHL games for the next day, for tomorrow, and I asked him who he thought was going to win each one of those games. And whoever he said he thought he was going to win, I bet $10 on the other team. And then on top of that, I made a parlay, $1 to win like 500 or 400, with all of his fades. So we'll see how it goes. But I thought that was funny. It could be good for the program.
I then proceeded to take a parlay with all of my actual picks. So we're going to find out who does better tomorrow. It's probably not going to end well in either of our favors, but...
You never know.
We'll see.
But that also reminds me of, we both have our betting sports books, and we like to bet just for fun. But there's this whole concept of arbitrage. So arbitrage is so crazy to think about, right? And the whole idea behind arbitrage is you have, say, someone produce an object. You have a company create an object, and it costs this price, right? Let's say it's paper towels, right? And these paper towels cost 5 cents each. Then you go over and you look on something like Amazon, and the cheapest price for paper towels being sold on Amazon are 10 cents a piece, right? You now have an arbitrage of 5 cents between there's someone that's not posting their listings on Amazon for this product, right, that you're able to get for 5 cents. So just by reposting it to Amazon, you can get 100% profit.
So the example is you could buy it at 5 cents a piece, sell it for 10 cents a piece, and automatically make your money back plus 5 cents.
Well, no. I mean, there's going to be fees, shipping, and stuff. But
all right, just dumb it down just as far as
you can make a profit, right? It's literally, I spend money and I purchase a product, and then I just reroute it And it's also, I think, arbitrage kind of goes under the same umbrella as drop shipping. If you've heard of drop shipping.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's crazy that exists even in this day and age, since Amazon and eBay and like you say, like Walmart are just behemoths that own the entire food chain process or supply chain process. But arbitrage is such a crazy thing to think about. And Zach and I, we place our bets online sometimes, and you get like odds boost and stuff like that, where you'll get a little bit of extra money. And if he places his odd boost on his book and I place my odd boost on,
they're gonna hear you. They're gonna know.
Please don't suspend our accounts. We spend a lot of money in other ways on your accounts, sports books.
Yeah, my name is Jeff on your account anyway, or on your book anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yes, there we go.
Whatever, we're fine.
But we both place arbitrage bets in our place profit boosted bets on our accounts, and we're able to arbitrage. That whole idea and concept of being able to arbitrage and just like get free, it's free money, right?
Yeah.
Just by connecting point A to point B is very interesting and intriguing to me.
I mean, you can correlate that to a lot of things, though. Like, for example, you're talking about with betting arbitrage, it takes very little to no effort, where it's all of a sudden like, you'll hit me up, you found this bet, we can send it, it's guaranteed $20, whatever, right? But, you know, you can kind of relate that to like flipping houses, selling cars, like any kind of product, like you were talking about with the paper towels. If you can buy it for a cheaper price and sell it for more, it just depends how much effort in the middle that you put in is what's going to make it worth your while. So you can buy a house for like $150,000 or something and sell it for $500K, and then subtract whatever amount of work you put into it, and then you just made a fat payday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Then, like flipping houses or selling properties and selling products, drop shipping, is that all like kind of that all kind of falls under a form of arbitrage?
I would say arbitrage is more when you have guaranteed cash. Like if you know for a fact that if you buy something or you acquire some kind of product or something like that you can buy for a fact outright, you can get it for a lower price than what you're going to sell it for. Like, it's going to go. See, the thing with betting arbitrage is that when we send those bets, we know for a fact in the morning there's going to be an extra $20 to $30, $40, whatever, in our accounts.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
As far as flipping houses, cars, couches, whatever, you don't know for a fact. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you know the market. Maybe you know how it's going to work, but you can't guarantee that's going to happen. And also, like with products like that, you have to put middle ground. You have to put work in. And so then that's going to lose you money from whatever you're going to sell it at finally. It just depends. It depends on what your skill set is.
Yeah, no, totally. Doesn't arbitrage sound like a bad thing, right, when you say it?
It sounds like sabotage.
Well, yeah, exactly. It sounds like negative, but it's actually encouraged.
Not by the books, but
no. I looked it up, and like arbitrage is encouraged in markets, especially stock markets and stuff like that, because it creates equilibrium, right? And it's just a matter of if you're the person that finds the arbitrage and acts on it, you're the beneficiary, right? But it's important for equilibrium in the market across the board, and apparently arbitrage is good for a healthy market.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just weird because it sound like sabotage. It sounds negative. You heard like arbitrage. You're like, is that person going to jail for that? Like, no, but it's actually encouraged by legal, by the markets, competitive markets.
Yeah, but so does that mean that essentially if you have you're saying is that if you have one person buying paper towels for 10 cents a piece, you have one person buying paper towels for 5 cents a piece, and then therefore they average out to 7.5. So you have people on either end of the market. You're going to create a balance. And then that's better than just having everybody buy at 7.5 because you create value on one end and profit on the other.
I'm not an economist. I can't really like speak to that.
No, you can do it. Come on.
No, we're gonna have to bring in. I have a friend that's an economist, Brendan. He's actually an economist. We're hoping to get him back on here soon.
Well, he's been on, dude. Number 4.
Yeah. Kanye and anime. But we're hoping to get him back. I think we saved the arbitrage question for him there and see how much he knows about it, because that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. So I don't know if I'm the expert on arbitrage, but do you know what reminds me of some of the harshest arbitrage in my life that I was on the bad side of?
I'm going to guess sauce, but I think I might be wrong.
No, I am always a beneficiary of sauce. I always win when it comes to sauce.
Jason's got the secret sauce.
No, if I think back to freshman year of college, the process of purchasing alcohol from people of age when you're a freshman.
Dude.
You would buy something like the lowest grade vodka that would probably cost $8 to $10 for a handle. Then they would sell it to you for something between like 15 and 20. Those like seniors or whoever was selling these the liquors and stuff, they would make so much money on straight arbitrage there.
Yeah.
It's
facts.
like this person can't get this. I can get this. I'm going to buy it for this price and sell it for double.
I mean, that's literally just talking about supply and demand. Like, for a fact that you're going to be able to sell this. And so it's like, why the hell not? Especially when you have an uneducated consumer market that just has no clue what they're doing. But that being said, when you were younger, and I'm sure a lot of people listening can totally relate, is that you go to great lengths to acquire alcohol, especially when you're incapable of getting it on your own. Like, you go up to someone random, have them go into the liquor store for you. Like, maybe you just find someone who's like, maybe you know them, maybe you don't. It's just somebody that, you find ways that get really, really creative.
Wait, have you ever asked somebody like random to purchase your alcohol as an underage, college student or whatever that wanted to get beer or something?
Oh, 100%. It's worked out great and it's worked out terrible.
Wow. I don't think I've ever done that. That's pretty crazy. A lot of people I know have, though. Do you have any like stories that like stand out?
Yeah, I remember one time I was with my buddy in Maine and we weren't able to go in on our own quite yet. And in Maine, they sell beer in Walmart. So, and you can go, like, you can't go into a liquor store without getting carded, but you can go into a Walmart without getting carded.
Yep.
And so we walked in and we kind of were just like, all right, how are we going to do this? How is this going to work? So we found some random person.
You know what other state sells beer in the Walmart? Just try to guess if there was any state that you could think of that's
Florida.
Yep. So I've been to Florida a lot. One of the best perks of Florida was the
Florida's
fact
weird, dude.
that it was a full liquor store in addition to being a Walmart. Their Walmarts are everything. What are the things you can't get at Walmart?
I mean, typically alcohol.
There you go. And Florida is like, fuck it.
We got guns and ammo over here. We got liquor over there. And by the way, there's tobacco in the back corner.
I didn't even think about that. Walmart has guns
and ammo,
beer, groceries, hunting appliances, hunting gear, PlayStation 5s.
Dude, they're a one-stop shop. Imagine if they put that on the highway.
Have you seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah.
There's like this like Walmart company that takes over the entire world.
Yeah, dude.
Why is there not only Walmarts in Florida? Why is there anything else? Why would you ever go to anywhere but Walmart?
Price. Maybe they're arbitraging.
Walmart's the best prices around, baby.
I don't know. I don't live in Florida. I don't know.
Well, you gotta check out Walmart's. Or sorry, you gotta check out Florida's Walmart game is on another level.
Well, that's just a down south thing, dude. Because you can get. I've driven down the street in the south, and it's literally like the guns are next to the ammo or next to the fireworks. Like, it's just insane. But I know that's the story in Florida too. But what's wild is like, so to finish the story was basically we wandered into this Walmart, found some random person we'd never met before. We're like, all right, we'll meet you out back, we'll meet you out front, like whatever. And so we kind of just go back to the car and are waiting for this dude to wander out with our 30 rack, and we're like, he's not coming. And we gave him a little more than he needed to buy the 30 rack just as a little incentive. And like in our minds, we were like, all right, we're good people, therefore he'll be good, whatever. And it took a while for him to come out, and we're like, he's just gonna take the money. Like, which realistically he should have, because you shouldn't be buying for underage. Like whatever. Like we
don't promote that at all.
Yeah, we definitely not. But whatever. Learn from our mistakes.
My sister, when she was underage, asked me countless times, and not once did I ever buy her alcohol.
Yeah, luckily for me and my buddy, this was actually a happy ending story where we ended up waiting for a really long time, and then the guy just wandered out, and we saw, because we were watching the entrance, like waiting for him to come out, and he wanders out, has the rack in hand, and we're just like, take all the money we gave you, like don't worry about any change. He's like, no, but boys, it's fine, like I've been there, like don't worry about it. Like, and he was like, sorry, it took a while, we were just trying to find something, like whatever, because we wandered in, found a random dude who we were like, you're sketchy.
He looks like he'd buy us a 30 rack.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's exactly what
certain
happened.
people give off that vibe.
Yeah. It's like you look a little young, a little sketchy, like whatever. And so it ended up working out really well for us. I've also had experiences where we've tried to do that, and this only happened like a handful of times, so not as bad. But it was where they just took the money and run. They like said like, no, I'm not going to do that. Whatever,
You've had times where people take the money and run.
Yeah, like maybe a couple. I mean, there's some worse stories that I definitely can't tell over the airwaves. So maybe if we ever start a Patreon.
Oh yeah, no, Patreon's coming, people. If you want that good content, that extra spicy content, it's under lock and key. And I'm sorry, it's not for our safety, it's for yours. But look out, it's coming soon. Walmart. I'm sorry, I really like Walmart. I had to throw this in one more time. Speaking of guns,
Walmart's getting a lot of free marketing.
Well, no. Speaking of guns, though, right? Have you ever gone shooting?
Yeah, I mean, I have family down in Texas, family that's former military, still in the military. So every time we go down to visit them down south in Alabama, Arizona, or Texas, we end up going out to the ranches and stuff and just shooting at targets.
Oh, so you shoot every now and then. So
whenever we have the opportunity, yeah.
So I've shot a couple times. Really only once that I went to a shooting range, and other than that, I've done airsoft, air pellets and paintball, and it's not the same in the sense that a gun's a gun. A gun's a whole other level.
Nowhere near.
Well, there's some form and technique that's shared between different.
I would say the concept is identical, but the actual, what's going on is very different.
Yeah. And that being said, I'm a good shot with airsoft, paintball, and shooting as a marksman, right? I'm a good shot as a marksman across the board. But I had this funny thing that happened to me at Christmas dinner this year. I don't know if I told you this, but so we're at dinner, and it's my grandparents, and my grandfather is 90. God bless him. He just turned 90 this year, amidst COVID and everything. We celebrated. We gave him a whole handful of balloons, and we thought he was like the man from Up. We thought he was about to fly away. Dude, those balloons were pulling on his arm. Did
he have a little Boy Scout next to him holding them down?
We need to put some sandbags on his legs to make sure he didn't fly away.
Oh, jeez.
But no, we have a very cute picture. I love my grandfather to death.
That's so funny.
We're at our dinner, and it's just my grandparents and just my mom, dad, and sister, right? And my aunt, very small, very close family. Obviously, we're very concerned with COVID and keeping everyone safe. So it's just us and my dad. My dad, ever since the pandemic, has gotten a little bit more worried about looting and stuff like that. So
did he buy a gun?
So my grandfather that passed away on my dad's side had a couple guns, and one of them was a revolver. And my dad had originally sold them all to his friend, but what he did is he went to his friend and he asked his friend to get the revolver back. So he got the revolver back that was his grandfather's from his friend, and bullets and stuff, and he has that hidden away at our house, just as, a safety measure, right? But my dad's also I had a pretty cool gun. Right? He's he hasn't owned a gun before, and he wants to show off to someone. So who's he going to show off to? The veteran. Right, the veteran in the household. My grandfather was a veteran.
Yeah.
Right. So we're at Christmas dinner. I'm mid forking filet mignon in my mouth. I'm enjoying my dinner.
You're elbow deep in the meat.
Yeah. And then my dad walks into the room with a revolver. In dinner, I'm talking family dinner, right? And what he does, I immediately get up. My eyes open wide. I was like,
"Oh, you're full defense mode."
Oh, I know gun safety.
This is the moment.
I know gun safety. Right, my dad, again, I love him. He's awesome, but he's not a big gun guy. He doesn't know guns well.
So you're just Jeff, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, first off, I was Jeff has a gun. And then he goes and he hands it to my grandfather. And at that point, I'm oh my God. I
it wasn't loaded, right?
I don't know. I mean, I assume it's not, right? But I have my dad, who's not the most proficient with guns, and my grandfather he's now holding a revolver. My dad just handed him a revolver, and I'm just Jesus Christ, Jeff!
What a hell of a time to break that out at family dinner on Christmas. Don't wait until you're wait till you're in the family room sipping coffee, where it's an appropriate this is not loaded
mid dinner, baby.
Yeah,
and my mom's Jeff, what? What are you doing?
Yeah,
and so he hands it to my grandfather. He's Frank, this is a revolver. This was my father's. And Frank's oh, and that's my grandfather. And I run over. I immediately grab the barrel of the gun, and I take it out of their hands. I rip it out of their hands, and I was guys, first off, is it loaded? And my dad's it's not loaded. I'm did you check? He's no. well, he's he's never used it. He knows it's not loaded, but he doesn't even know how to open the barrel.
Yeah,
it's a revolver, so you have to open the panel.
I mean, dude, my family who lives in Texas has bought guns where they bought them and then checked them afterwards after they purchased them and got them into their possession to see if they're loaded, and they've been loaded a couple times.
Well, there you have it. So me knowing gun safety, I immediately grabbed the barrel of the gun, kept it pointing not near anyone, and I opened up the chamber and I checked the revolver cylinder.
Was it empty?
Completely empty.
Okay, yeah.
So that was good, but still, I was like, Grandpa.
Some context would have been great.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know. I had to find out. So I was like, Dad, Grandpa, no fingers on the trigger at any time, and don't ever point it at anyone. I know it's not loaded and everything, but like, this is a gun.
Yeah.
It's a gun. You've seen those videos of those Instagram rappers and people that have just picked up a gun from their friend and either shot them or shot themselves or shot their phone.
It's horrible.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So gun safety is very important, but it was just so funny to me. And I had control of the situation.
Yeah.
But the fact that my dad's just like, oh, this is a great thing to bring out for Christmas dinner. Look at my gun.
Jeff loves a story, dude.
Yeah. He's a big story guy.
What's funny though is that when you started telling that, I cut you off because I was like, oh shit. But and you were like, yeah, I jumped up. And in my mind, as you kept telling the story, when you said I jumped up, took off all my clothes and went full serpentine. I never came back. Like I did literally immediately in one fell swoop. The sweater was off, the khakis were off. You're butt naked running through the lawn, full panic mode. You'll never catch me. Yeah, exactly. And Frank and Jeff were like, what's his problem? Like, where did he go?
PTSD.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you for listening to the Call Me Larry podcast. Give us a follow and subscribe. Give us a comment or review wherever you listen to podcasts. It really helps us out. Give us a like, follow, look at our stuff on Instagram or Twitter. It really helps us out as well. We appreciate you guys so much. As we always say, live, love, Larry. We'll see you next week. Peace.
CML is my brand, yeah, a little Huey on the map, yeah, you don't understand, I'm the man with the plan, I'm rapping there, bitch, I can, I'm on my own stance, on my own beat, yeah, I'm in my own trance, leave 'em like a mirage, hitting on the back like it's Nicki Minaj.